Every day, millions of us wake up, reach for a hot cup of coffee, and sip that familiar warmth to jumpstart our morning. Coffee is more than just a drink. It is a ritual, a comforting companion in our fast-paced lives. Yet, what if this seemingly innocent habit hides a darker side? What if the foods we combine with our coffee could be putting us at risk? Certain foods, some of them part of everyday breakfast staples, can actually cause unexpected harm when paired with your daily cup of coffee. You may wonder how a simple cup of coffee, when enjoyed with a bowl of yogurt or a slice of toast, might be dangerous. What you might not realize is that certain combinations interfere with the body's ability to absorb vital nutrients, disrupt digestion, add unnecessary strain to your heart, or even cause blood sugar levels to swing unpredictably. It may seem far-fetched, but research has shown that these hidden dangers are very real. Something as simple as pairing coffee with the wrong food could gradually weaken your health. Imagine how much this daily habit could quietly put you at risk over time, without you even knowing it. This discussion is not just about coffee. It is about understanding how everyday choices can have serious consequences. We are about to reveal the 10 food pairings with coffee that you should absolutely avoid if you value your health. Along the way, you will learn not only what these risky combinations are, but also safer, health-conscious alternatives. These tips could be life-changing, allowing you to enjoy your coffee without the hidden risks. Real-life examples of individuals whose health was impacted by these combinations will be shared, and all of this is backed up with credible, science-based information from trusted health organizations and researchers. Our goal is simple: to help you stay informed, empowered, and safe when making everyday choices that benefit your health. We are here to uncover hidden truths that could prevent potential health risks down the line. Let us begin with the first combination. Combination 10. Coffee with dried fruits. Imagine starting your day on your way to work, sipping coffee and munching on dried apricots, completely unaware that this simple combo could be impacting your health more than you think. Dried fruits are often considered a convenient and healthy snack, packed with fiber and natural sugars, and viewed as the ideal grab-and-go option. However, the hidden issue is that dried fruits are rich in concentrated sugars, which, on their own, provide a quick energy boost. When paired with coffee's caffeine, this sugar rush can lead to a rapid spike in blood glucose levels. Over time, this roller coaster of energy wreaks havoc on insulin sensitivity, increasing the risk of metabolic problems. When your body digests dried fruit, the natural sugars enter your bloodstream quickly, and the caffeine acts like a stimulant, amplifying the release of sugars and insulin. This can lead to energy spikes followed by sudden crashes, leaving you feeling fatigued and possibly impairing your body's ability to manage blood sugar levels. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has indicated that consuming foods high in sugar, especially in concentrated forms like dried fruits, can exacerbate the effects of caffeine. In one study, caffeine was found to increase adrenaline, which intensifies the insulin response to sugar, creating a metabolic imbalance that may result in fatigue, energy crashes, and even insulin resistance. Institutions such as Harvard School of Public Health caution against pairing high-sugar foods with stimulants like caffeine, explaining that the combination forces the pancreas to work overtime, eventually exhausting insulin production and creating issues with blood sugar management. Consider the story of Emily, a marketing executive from Chicago who thought her morning coffee and dried fruit were perfect for a busy schedule. Despite the convenience, she experienced intense mid-morning energy crashes, constant fatigue, and dwindling focus by lunchtime. After consulting with her doctor, she learned that her breakfast habit was causing rapid insulin spikes followed by crashes, leaving her drained. Once she made some changes, her energy improved dramatically. For those who enjoy dried fruits, it is advised to have them separately from coffee. Dried fruits can serve as a great afternoon snack when paired with a handful of nuts to help stabilize blood sugar levels. Or, if you prefer a morning boost, try pairing fresh fruit, like a banana, with your coffee for a more stable energy release. Combination 9. Coffee with citrus fruits. Next, let us consider the pairing of coffee with citrus fruits. Citrus is beloved for its refreshing, tangy taste and is often enjoyed at breakfast alongside coffee. Many people think that having an orange or grapefruit with their coffee is a healthy choice, loaded with vitamin C. However, this seemingly healthy combination may set your body up for digestive issues and heartburn. The problem lies in the high acidity levels of both coffee and citrus fruits. When consumed together, they can increase the acidity in your stomach, leading to discomfort and acid reflux for some individuals. Over time, this increased acidity could result in inflammation of the esophagus and stomach lining, potentially causing more serious digestive issues if consumed regularly. Citrus fruits naturally have high levels of citric acid, while coffee contains chlorogenic acid. When these acids are combined, they can overwhelm your digestive system, irritating the stomach lining and esophagus, especially in individuals with sensitive digestion or a tendency for acid reflux. A study published in the Journal of Gastroenterology found that both caffeine and citric acid stimulate gastric acid production, and when ingested together, they can lead to increased acid production in the stomach. This heightened acid level increases the risk of acid reflux and stomach irritation. The National Institute of Digestive Diseases advises that those with acid reflux or sensitive stomachs should avoid consuming highly acidic foods and drinks together. Take, for example, Carlos, a fitness enthusiast from Miami. He began his day with a cup of coffee and a fresh grapefruit, believing it was the ultimate healthy combo. Over time, he experienced frequent heartburn, a burning sensation in his chest, and mild stomach pain. After discussing his symptoms with a nutritionist, he learned that the combination of acidic foods like grapefruit with coffee was likely the cause of his discomfort. Once he spaced out these items, his symptoms improved, allowing him to enjoy both without the adverse effects. To reduce the risk of acid overload, it is recommended to space your coffee and citrus fruits by at least an hour, or choose low-acid fruit options such as bananas or berries. Combination 8. Coffee with yogurt or dairy. Moving on, another popular combination is coffee with yogurt or dairy products. Many of us enjoy a creamy coffee or a breakfast parfait with our morning cup. Yet this pairing may not be as wholesome as it appears. A cup of coffee with milk or a quick yogurt parfait sounds like a perfectly balanced breakfast. However, the unique interaction between caffeine and dairy proteins can create digestive challenges. Caffeine, being a stimulant, speeds up digestion, while dairy proteins, especially casein and milk, require a slower breakdown. When these two are consumed together, coffee may disrupt the digestion of dairy, leading to bloating, discomfort, and in some cases, even symptoms of lactose intolerance if consumed regularly. Additionally, this interaction can interfere with calcium absorption. Research by the National Osteoporosis Foundation shows that caffeine can reduce calcium absorption in the intestines by as much as 4 to 6% for every 100 milligrams of caffeine consumed. Although this reduction might seem small, regular coffee intake can significantly diminish the nutritional benefits of dairy over the long term. Furthermore, dairy proteins may not be digested as effectively when paired with caffeine because the stomach prioritizes the rapid energy release over complete nutrient absorption. Consider Sarah, a busy nurse who loved her morning combination of yogurt and coffee. Over time, she noticed bloating and stomach discomfort, initially attributing it to stress. After speaking with a dietitian, she discovered that her morning habit was the culprit. By switching her yogurt to a mid-morning snack, she felt lighter and experienced less discomfort. For those who enjoy creamy coffee, it is suggested to experiment with plant-based milk options like almond or oat milk, which digest more smoothly with caffeine, or to have yogurt about an hour after your coffee. Combination 7. Coffee with sweet pastries. Now, let's address the classic pairing of coffee with sweet pastries. This is one of the most common breakfast choices worldwide, as many of us love a hot cup of coffee paired with a delicious donut or croissant. Yet, this seemingly harmless combination could be setting up your body for serious issues later on. The combination of caffeine and refined sugar in pastries can lead to a rapid spike in blood sugar levels, followed by a sudden insulin release that quickly pulls the sugar from the bloodstream, resulting in an energy crash. Regularly spiking and crashing blood sugar levels can stress the pancreas and may contribute to insulin resistance over time. Moreover, These sugar crashes can affect not only your energy levels, but also your mood and cognitive function, leaving you feeling jittery or irritable once the sugar high fades. According to the American Diabetes Association, refined sugars combined with stimulants like caffeine can create rapid fluctuations in blood sugar levels. A study published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology also found that the combination of caffeine with refined sugar can lead to increased feelings of anxiety and stress, particularly in individuals sensitive to sugar. The American Heart Association further advises caution, noting that high sugar, high caffeine combinations can contribute to long-term metabolic strain and adversely affect cardiovascular health. For example, Dave, a corporate manager who loved his coffee and donut every morning, often felt shaky and irritable a few hours into his workday, craving more sugar or another cup of coffee. When he switched to a more balanced breakfast, such as whole grain toast with peanut butter, his energy remained steady, and he felt calmer throughout the morning. To keep blood sugar stable, consider swapping pastries for a high-fiber, low-sugar breakfast option, such as whole grain toast with nut butter or a small bowl of oatmeal. If you still desire something sweet, adding a small piece of dark chocolate with minimal sugar could be a healthier alternative. Combination 6. Coffee with red meat. Next, we discuss the surprising pairing of coffee with red meat, a combination that might seem unusual at first. Think of hearty breakfasts like steak and eggs, or a breakfast sandwich with ham or bacon accompanied by coffee. While protein and caffeine are common components of a power breakfast, combining red meat with coffee could have an unexpected effect on your body's iron levels. Red meat is an excellent source of heme iron, which is essential for carrying oxygen through your blood and maintaining energy levels. However, caffeine in coffee can interfere with your body's ability to absorb this iron effectively over time, potentially contributing to iron deficiency. This can be particularly concerning for individuals with low iron stores or higher iron requirements. Without sufficient iron, you may experience fatigue, difficulty focusing, or even weakened immunity. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has found that caffeine can reduce iron absorption by up to 40% when consumed within an hour of an iron-rich meal. Furthermore, the National Institutes of Health advises that those needing higher iron intakes, such as women and athletes, should separate caffeine from iron sources for optimal absorption. Experts from the World Health Organization also recommend that individuals at risk for iron deficiency avoid consuming caffeine alongside their primary iron sources. Consider Tom, a fitness enthusiast who regularly ate steak and coffee together for breakfast, believing it was the perfect energy-boosting meal. Despite his healthy eating habits, he often felt low on energy. After consulting with his doctor, Tom learned that his coffee was blocking his iron absorption. By simply spacing out his coffee consumption by an hour before or after his red meat meal, his energy levels improved noticeably. For those who enjoy red meat, consider pairing coffee with foods rich in non-heme iron, such as spinach or nuts, or drinking coffee alongside meals that do not rely on iron as a primary nutrient source. Combination 5. Coffee with alcohol. Another unusual, yet surprisingly common pairing is coffee with alcohol. Picture a dinner party where you finish a glass of wine with an espresso, or a brunch where coffee is enjoyed alongside mimosas. While each beverage seems harmless on its own, together they tell a different story. Many people enjoy coffee after a night out, thinking it will help them feel more alert. However, combining coffee and alcohol can set you up for more than just a wake-up call. The main issue lies in the way coffee and alcohol affect your central nervous system. Alcohol is a depressant, while caffeine is a stimulant. Consumed together, they create a push-pull effect that can mask the true impact of alcohol, making you feel less intoxicated than you actually are. This false sense of alertness may lead to over-drinking, dehydration, and, in severe cases, dangerous behavior. Caffeine tricks the brain into feeling alert, despite your body being impaired. Moreover, both caffeine and alcohol are diuretics, which means they can quickly dehydrate you and leave you vulnerable to headaches, dizziness, and fatigue once the stimulant effect wears off. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Combining caffeine and alcohol increases the risk of dehydration and reduces your awareness of alcohol's intoxicating effects. The CDC warns that this combination can lead to increased alcohol consumption, as the caffeine may delay the feelings of drowsiness or impairment. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism also advises avoiding this combination, citing the amplified dehydration risk and the higher likelihood of making risky decisions while under the influence of both stimulants and depressants. Consider Ben, who enjoyed an espresso after dinner with friends. Even after having a couple of glasses of wine, he felt alert enough to continue drinking, only to wake up the next morning feeling far worse and dehydrated. By cutting out the late-night coffee, Ben experienced fewer headaches and felt better the following day. If you enjoy both coffee and alcohol, consider spacing them out by staying hydrated with water in between, or even skipping the coffee altogether after drinking. Combination 4. Coffee with sugary cereals or pancakes. Next, we address the common pairing of coffee with sugary cereals or pancakes. A classic breakfast pairing for many who desire a quick, sweet start to the day. Often, people expect an energy boost from this combination, but many experience an energy slump or irritability just hours later. This is because sugary breakfast foods are digested quickly, causing a spike in blood sugar. Caffeine, as a stimulant, then triggers the release of adrenaline, creating a temporary high that is frequently followed by a crash in both energy and mood. Over time, this pattern of spiking and crashing disrupts blood sugar control, leaving you feeling fatigued, irritable, and unfocused. The roller coaster effect not only impacts your physical energy, but can also take a toll on your mental clarity, making it difficult to concentrate and even leading to feelings of irritability. A study published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology found that the combination of sugar and caffeine can lead to increased anxiety and stress levels due to their effects on adrenaline and insulin. The American Heart Association also cautions that high sugar, high caffeine combinations can contribute to long-term metabolic strain and mood instability. Consider Lisa, a school teacher who used to start her mornings with a sugary bowl of cereal and coffee. Although she felt energized at first, within a couple of hours, she felt exhausted and moody, struggling to stay focused in her classes. After switching to a protein-rich breakfast like eggs and whole grains, she felt more stable and energized throughout the day. For a more balanced start, pair your coffee with a breakfast that includes protein and complex carbohydrates. Foods such as eggs, whole grain toast, or a smoothie with greens can help stabilize blood sugar and keep you energized. If you crave something sweet, try fresh fruit instead of processed cereals or pancakes. Combination 3. Coffee with high-fiber foods, oats, bran, and whole grains. Another popular breakfast choice is pairing coffee with high-fiber foods such as oats, bran, or whole grain cereal. These foods are typically seen as a healthy way to start the day, providing essential nutrients and promoting digestion. However, this combination might reduce the nutritional benefits you're trying to obtain. High-fiber foods are crucial for digestion, yet when combined with coffee, the fiber may reduce the absorption of essential minerals, particularly iron and calcium. Coffee contains compounds called tannins, which bind to minerals and inhibit their absorption in the gut. Meanwhile, high-fiber foods slow down digestion to allow gradual nutrient absorption. When these two are combined, it can lead to insufficient mineral absorption, especially if you rely on your morning meal for these nutrients. Poor absorption of calcium can affect bone health, while insufficient iron can lead to fatigue and weakened immunity. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition indicates that tannins in coffee can reduce the bioavailability of calcium and iron by up to 40% when consumed with high-fiber foods. The National Osteoporosis Foundation also advises spacing out coffee from calcium-rich meals to support better bone health. Experts in digestive health emphasize that while fiber is beneficial, pairing it with tannin-rich drinks like coffee can interfere with the slow-release nutrient absorption that fiber is meant to facilitate. Consider Jake, an avid runner who focused on eating high-fiber oats with his coffee every morning, believing it was the perfect way to fuel his workouts. Over time, he noticed frequent fatigue and muscle cramps. After consulting with his nutritionist, he discovered that his breakfast habit was reducing his calcium and iron absorption. By adjusting the timing of his coffee, Jake experienced a notable improvement in his energy levels and recovery. To get the full nutritional benefit from your fiber-rich breakfast, try having your coffee at least an hour after your meal, or pair your coffee with a different, lower-fiber meal. Combination 2. Coffee with spicy foods. Now, let us move on to the intriguing combination of coffee with spicy foods. While coffee and spices are both beloved for their bold flavors, pairing them can sometimes create unexpected digestive complications. Imagine enjoying a spicy breakfast burrito or eggs with a side of hot sauce alongside your coffee. Though this combination may sound delicious, it could potentially be harming your gut. Spicy foods contain capsaicin, the compound responsible for their heat, which can irritate the stomach lining. When combined with coffee, which is acidic and acts as a natural stimulant, the effects are intensified. Together, they can cause acid reflux, heartburn, and even long-term digestive inflammation in those prone to such issues. Capsaicin stimulates acid production, and coffee's inherent acidity further compounds this effect, eroding the protective mucus layer in the stomach and making it vulnerable to inflammation. This combination is especially problematic for people with pre-existing acid reflux or sensitive digestion. A study by the National Institutes of Health found that both spicy foods and caffeine trigger gastric acid release, and their combined effect can increase acid reflux symptoms by up to 50% in individuals with a history of digestive sensitivity. Gastroenterologists recommend that people with acid reflux avoid combining highly acidic foods and beverages like coffee with spicy foods, as this can exacerbate symptoms and contribute to longer-term digestive issues. Consider Maria, a food lover who enjoyed a spicy breakfast with her morning coffee. She began to experience burning in her chest and occasional stomach pain after eating. Her doctor explained that the combination of coffee and spicy foods was irritating her stomach lining. After making adjustments, such as separating her coffee from her spicy meals, Maria found relief from these uncomfortable symptoms. If you love spicy food, try pairing it with water or herbal tea instead of coffee, giving your stomach a break from the acid overload. Combination 1. Coffee with high-fat foods, avocado, nuts, butter. Finally, we arrive at the last, and perhaps most surprising, combination: coffee with high-fat foods such as avocado, nuts, or even the popular bulletproof coffee made with butter or coconut oil. These foods are celebrated for their healthy fats and energy-boosting properties, yet when paired with coffee, they might actually slow you down. Healthy fats are excellent for sustained energy, while coffee is known for providing a quick boost. However, when coffee and fats are consumed together, they may create an energy drain rather than the intended kickstart. The main issue lies in how caffeine and fats are metabolized. Caffeine is rapidly absorbed and processed by the liver to provide immediate energy, while fats take longer to digest and release energy gradually. When both are consumed together, the body prioritizes metabolizing the caffeine, which can delay fat digestion and lead to sluggishness or an energy slump once the caffeine wears off. Over time, this can make you feel more fatigued rather than re-energized, especially if you rely on this combination daily. Some people might notice an energy crash after the initial caffeine boost fades, as the body has not yet fully processed the fats needed for sustained energy. Research from the American Journal of Physiology explains that caffeine can temporarily inhibit fat oxidation, the process of breaking down fats for energy, especially when combined with dietary fats. This interference may cause the body to store fats rather than burn them in the short term. Nutritionists advise against pairing high-fat foods with stimulants like coffee, particularly for those who aim for stable energy and focus. Consider Kevin, a software developer who loved his bulletproof coffee every morning. Initially, he believed it was the ultimate energy boost, but after about an hour, he often felt tired and mentally foggy. After consulting with a nutritionist, Kevin learned that his body was not fully utilizing the fats when they were combined with caffeine. By separating his coffee from high-fat foods, he discovered a steadier energy flow that lasted longer. For those who enjoy high-fat foods, consider having them with a low-caffeine herbal tea or water, or space out your coffee by an hour to allow better digestion of fats and a steadier energy release. In conclusion, each of these combinations presents its own set of risks, from nutrient absorption issues and blood sugar spikes to digestive troubles and even long-term health impacts. It is not only about what you eat, but also about how you combine it. Simple adjustments, such as spacing your coffee an hour away from high-fiber or iron-rich foods, can prevent nutrient deficiencies. Similarly, swapping sugary treats for complex carbohydrates can keep your energy levels stable. By making these small, informed choices, you can avoid chronic fatigue, digestive discomfort, and energy crashes, all while supporting better focus, mood, and overall health. Imagine starting each day with a balanced routine, knowing that your choices are working for you rather than against you. Every choice you make, with intention and care, is an investment in your well-being. Use this knowledge to create a healthier routine. And remember that even small changes can transform your mornings, energize your body, and ultimately lead to a healthier, more balanced life. Thank you for taking the time to read this comprehensive guide. May your coffee ritual be both enjoyable and beneficial, one mindful sip at a time.